Okay, the second, I just made the video of the chimney. The second water issue of the day with the house. This room also, the addition room that's just outside the garage. I also noticed mildewy smell in here. Not as bad as the house, but noticeable. And didn't have time to investigate because we just cleaned this room out. This is where we put a bunch of our stuff when we moved. Today we cleaned it out, and I noticed across the baseboards here it's wet, and then if you look really closely, I don't know if it's going to translate via video, but this is mildew here. This, all that stuff, that gray staining and the fuzzy stuff on it is mildew. And there's a little bit of mildew right there. And this is caused, it's coming, oh, and you can see a little moisture in between the pieces of flooring here. And the doggy door, that is wet from the doggy door, and this is all wet here and mildewed, which means the external plywood is wet and mildewed underneath the siding. That side's okay. But this is partially due to no cover over the dog door, but the main, we also have mildew over here on this side too. So this is not due to the doggy door. There's mildew on the door jamb right there too. This is due to the lack of flashing between the deck and the siding. The deck just runs right up to the siding, and there's no separation. So the water hits the deck and goes underneath the siding, and due to capillary action, wicks its way up behind the siding. And goes into the wall and stays wet and creates mold and mildew. And this is just dirt, but it also tells me that there's water getting in here somehow. Yep. So, although it's a little minor, oh, and there was another thing I wanted to show you. In the ceiling in here, this is black mold on the insulation. All down the outside of this. That there, wet. And that's wet, and that's wet right there. Wet, 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 wet. Now I don't know, I haven't been on the roof. I haven't even tried to figure out why that's wet, but somehow it's coming in from outside. So that's why this room smells like mildew. Water. So more work. And I just noticed that is also wet, and that is also wet, and that is also wet. Like I said, we had a real good rain last night, like really, really good. But this shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't. I haven't been on the roof to see if there's flashing against the wall up here on this roof or not. But anyway, some more stuff.